Hey, what's up? Hello, my name is Mandy. I go by Bulletproof on the internet. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, I do lifestyle vlogging. So today what I wanted to do with you guys is another story time. This story time is actually a little bit heart-wrenching. And what I mean by heart-wrenching is that this happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and there are some days that I'm still upset about it. So the purpose of this story is not like a touchy, feel-good, love who you are kind of story. This story is a try less to be an asshole kind of story. So a couple of weeks ago, I am in downtown Fort Collins with one of my really great friends. We are going to call her Nicole. So Nicole and I have been friends for years and years and years. We've been through a lot together. And Nicole brings a coworker with her. Let's call this coworker Brittany. Now, Nicole and I have the kind of relationship where when she is around, I am invisible. And she knows this, I know this, it's a conversation that we've had thousands of times. It's not a new concept to either one of us. However, sometimes it still doesn't feel good. So Nicole and I go out to the bar downtown Fort Collins, and her coworker Brittany joins us. And Nicole meets up with a really fucking hot dude, like so insanely gorgeous. And I look at her and I say, "Oh my God, Nicole, you are so lucky. Like, I will never sleep with a man like that." We both know, you and I both know, that I am never gonna be the girl who sleeps with a guy who looks like that. And we laugh it off and we go about our merry ways. So recently I just started losing weight again. So if you know nothing about me, I broke up with an ex-boyfriend, moved to California, lost like 80 pounds, lost a bunch of weight, moved home, gained a little bit of it back, and now we're re-losing this weight. So here we are, modern day Fort Collins, downtown at the bar, and I am losing weight again. I finally fit back into this pair of jeans that is a size 2. Now, they don't fit exceptionally well, but you know what? I can get them buttoned without sucking in my gut, so that feels good to me. I put on this top that is like maybe a little bit more form-fitting than I would normally wear, but again, still feels good to be able to fit into. So Brittany looks at me and says, "What's going on? Why do you feel that way?" And I proceed to explain. You know what, Brittany? When Nicole and I are out together, I am literally invisible. Guys don't notice me because they notice her. And it is just kind of the dynamic of our relationship, and it doesn't always feel good, and I have major body image issues, and tonight I just wanted to feel amazing. So had we gone out by ourselves and had not met up with exceptionally good-looking dude, I might have been okay, but tonight I feel like shit because I thought I looked good, and in reality, maybe I just don't. So the night continues. Nicole decides to go to said exceptionally hot dude's house. I decide to go to her apartment because I have to work the next morning. I have a key to Nicole's apartment, so I can just come and go as I please whenever I am in Fort Collins, and she just doesn't give a rat's ass. Brittany says, "Hey, I don't want to have to drive home. Can I come along?" And I'm like, "Sure. Is it okay with you, Nicole?" "Absolutely, Mandy. Go ahead. You have the key to my apartment." Brittany and I get in the car. We drive to Nicole's house. We stay the night. Immediately we walk in, and Brittany is like, "Oh my God, this house is so fucking messy." Now I will give her this. Nicole is an exceptionally messy person. Again, a conversation that we've had already because we used to be roommates. Nothing new. I don't mind putting this stuff on the internet because these are conversations we've already had. Nicole is a messy person. She has 2 cats. She lives with a male roommate who is also not exceptionally clean, and she works so much that she is like literally never home. She will come home, throw some shit on the couch, and leave. And then eventually that pile on the couch just gets bigger, and that's just who she is. It doesn't make her any less of a good friend. It doesn't make her any less of a good person. It just makes her house a little bit messy. So Nicole and I continue to have this like body image, I hate being invisible kind of conversation. And then I say, you know what, I really have to go to bed. I'm gonna close my eyes now, so if you need a ride anywhere, let me know, or if you have a ride in the morning, that's cool, but I'm leaving at this time to go to work. She's like, yeah, cool, totally. I'm actually just gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette. Great. I lay down, I close my eyes, I get ready to fall asleep, and then I realize that she's been smoking a cigarette for a weirdly long amount of time. Now, I don't smoke cigarettes, so like there's kind of a learning curve here, but at the same time, I know that it doesn't take quite this long to smoke a cigarette, and I think something is up. I also realize that I hear her voice right outside the window, and she's obviously on the phone. And I hear her say the words, "I'm waiting 45 minutes for a cab." And I'm like, that's weird. Why would you wait for a cab? I offered to give you a ride home. So I turn off the fan that's in the living room, and I'm like kind of trying to figure out what's going on. This is totally eavesdropping. It is what it is. So I stand a little bit closer to the window, and I hear her say again, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. I don't want to be here anymore, but the cab is not going to be here for another 45 minutes. I'm just going to sit outside and wait for it to get here because I don't want to go back inside. So I'm like, okay, I was totally going to give you a ride home. If you don't want to stay the night, that's cool. I mean, I'm not going to be offended. And then I hear her say, oh my God, I have to tell you what happened to me tonight. And I realize she's telling a story on Snapchat. And I know she's telling a story on Snapchat because every time she says something, it repeats it back to her. So I listen to this story she's telling on Snapchat, and it goes a little something like this.
Oh my God, bitch, I have a story to tell you. Like, I just had the weirdest night ever. So I go out with this coworker, and I think she's pretty cool, and like we go out and have a good time and stuff. So I'm like, sure, like I'll probably stay the night. And like we were drinking, so it really didn't make sense for me to go home. So like I decided to stay the night at her house. But here's what happened. Like there are beer bottles everywhere, and like it's messy, and she has 2 cats. So, and since she like ran off with that dude, I had to get a ride with her friend that was with us. But she is like the chunkiest white trash I've ever met. So she like runs off with some dude that she's gonna sleep with tonight, and I get back to her house, and oh my God, it is so disgusting. So I called the cab, but it's gonna take like 45 minutes to get here, and I just can't go back inside. Like I can't bring myself to do it. Ugh, yeah, so like I am just sitting outside waiting for this fucking cab because like I just can't go back in there.
Okay, so I like have to take a minute because I am so unbelievably pissed. Not only am I pissed, but like my feelings really hurt. I'm not gonna lie and say that this like didn't affect me at all because it really fucking sucked. So here's what I did. I called Nicole and I say, hey, your shit ass coworker just said this on her Snapchat story. Let's get rid of her because she's not a very nice person. In fact, I'm sitting here, I'm in tears because she just said this about me. I don't feel really good about it, so like, what do you want me to do? Nicole says, just ignore her. I kind of assumed that she was a catty bitch. This just like confirms it, whatever, no big deal. Go back inside, go to sleep. I'll take care of it in the morning. I go back inside for a minute and I just like have this like giant knot in my stomach. I don't feel good. I cannot believe that someone is that shallow. So I walk back outside and I say,
hey. Hi, what's up? Yeah, listen, I know you think that I'm chunky white trash, but I told you a lot of personal stuff tonight, and I'm really sorry that you felt like you couldn't handle it. We're both grown-ups here, so I'm going to tell you that she's a really good friend, and you're about to really miss out. I wasn't saying that. regardless, what you said was shitty, so I'm gonna go inside and lock the door. I think you should leave. Don't expect to hear from us ever again.
And I walked back inside. Let me just like throw out there that like on the way from the bar to Nicole's apartment, we had this entire conversation about our parents and like how our parents have influenced us. And she had just said her dad went to rehab and he went to rehab so that he could win her mom back. So we've had this like conversation about how sometimes parents don't always make the right choices, and I felt like I had given her a piece of me that I don't really give to a lot of people. And it's really unfortunate that from that entire conversation, the only thing she could take away was A, that I was chunky, and B, that I was white trash. So I know that's like kind of an anticlimactic story time, but the fact of the matter is that I reached out to someone and I felt like I was telling them something that maybe could be relatable because she was like venting to me about her parents. So I like kind of told her about my parents, and you know, really at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. And so what was really frustrating about this situation is that I went out of my way to make her feel like she was not alone, and she used that against me to tell her friends on Snapchat that I'm chunky white trash. At the end of the day, I know we like to say cliche things like don't let it get to you, or other people's opinions don't matter, or you are the one who makes you feel the way that you feel. And while technically, yes, those are true, at the end of the day, the words that we say still hurt. It still hurts when someone calls you fat. It still hurts when someone calls you chunky. It still hurts when someone takes a story that you told them and turns it around and tells all of their friends that it makes you white trash. At the end of the day, none of that feels good. So the lesson to be learned from this story time is simply not to be an asshole. There is absolutely no reason to post on your Snapchat or tell all of your friends about the chunky girl that you met at the bar. There's absolutely no reason to tear other people down, and especially on social media. Now, you might run into like the occasional person who is like just really got a crazy story and you just like want to share it with your friends, but it's got to be in a manner that is not making fun of them and simply just relaying a story. And I know that's like a really fine gray line. However, when it comes to this particular story, it was just someone being nasty. And at the end of the day, there's like really no reason for that. So I know this wasn't the most exciting story time. I know it was like really anticlimactic, but